Boom.
I
just go live?
I think we just went live.
Everybody hear us? Are we here?
That we just went live. I just saw it on Twitch. So Twitch is 20 seconds behind us. So we're just on. So we're just in time.
Hi, everybody.
Can everybody hear us? And believe it or not, we are actually live, not just on Twitch. We're actually live on Facebook and Twitter and as well. And YouTube.
Nice.
We're actually live on our YouTube channel.
Dear God.
So it's crazy. So we are ready to go. Welcome anyone who's new. Thank you for letting us know that you can hear us. That is great. So the exciting thing is everyone who is here. Someone was looking for Matthew Lillard and accidentally.
Yeah. Sorry, I know we're a sad consolation prize.
Yeah.
But, Matthew's on a plane this morning, so he is not available. But we appreciate y'all being here.
Yes. Oh, we already have some questions about what is an element. We're going to get into that in just a sec. But the first thing we have to do is actually launch the Kickstarter.
Paul has to press the button. We jumped on a couple minutes early here, so we could all witness Paul pressing the actual big green button. Is it a green button?
Yes, it is. And in fact,
it should be an orange button.
No, it's a green button. In fact, it looks like this.
Oh,
nice.
That is frightening.
I'm ready to launch. So
I'm not ready. I
was going to say that's not correct.
Ready.
I think we have to go. Are we ready, guys?
Yeah.
3,
yeah.
2,
push the button, Frank.
1. All right.
Oh, there's more than one button. That is
launch.
Tease.
No,
That's
launch
terrible.
project is literally the thing. Launch project. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Drum roll. Oh, LFG. And that's it. Congratulations. Your project is live.
Wow.
Oh,
wow. God, nobody likes us. We haven't sold anything. We're doomed. I give up.
That is it. Our project
is 0%. It's 0% funded, ladies and gentlemen. We can go
0%. Well, thank you, everybody who came by to express their support. We are super excited about this. This is the first original game that we've ever made. Yeah. Oh, we have 3 backers. We have 3 backers.
Are we going to do this the whole?
No, we're not. We're not.
I gotta
say, John, get a marker and start making tallies on your wall.
Why not? Bill, there's something super exciting happening at 10 o'clock. Let's talk about that. I feel like that we should talk about what's happening at 10 o'clock.
Well, hold on. First, we should talk about what we're all drinking.
At 10 o'clock, Charlie starts drinking. At 10:01, we join him. At 10 o'clock, our wonderful friend Paula Deming, who, by the way, is one of the stars of our TV show Faster Purple Worm Kill Kill, along with Josephine McAdam, who is also on Faster Purple Worm. They are going to be doing a live stream playthrough of Ring of Chaos. They are hilarious, amazing people. You will have a lot of fun watching them play. You'll learn what the game is. If you're just wondering what the hell it is that we created here, that's a great entertaining way to find out. And it should be a great time. And I will be curled up in a ball trying to watch it, but it's actually very emotionally very difficult to hear other people. Josh McGuire, who is in the chat, did an amazing long form video on the game. You can see that on our
so good
on our Twitter stream. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear all the noise in the background, but he did a fantastic job of covering the game in great detail. If you want to really get into the weeds about it, he does an amazing job. Also, incredibly difficult for me to watch personally. Just it's all really wonderful, and it just I don't know what it is. What is it about that like when somebody's talking about something you created that it is so cringy hard to watch. It's makes me very uncomfortable.
Well,
What
first,
was that?
I do want to say, Josh, you have been, I bow to you. You have been a great supporter of ours. So thank you for everything that you've done over the years. Love your work. Love to watch your stuff. I will say for the 10 o'clock game, I would like to propose that we each take a bet on who we think is going to win the game.
Oh, good idea. So who
Wait a minute. Okay, so just so people know, this is the group is called Things Get Dicey. Paula Deming is the host. Okay, so we're taking bets on which individual are going to win, or is this?
I think there's some interstate commerce rules we can totally violate by betting on a game over that. So we should absolutely do that.
Yeah. Which player of the group of players is likely to win that game?
Oh God, that makes me uncomfortable just to even take a shot at it. Boy, it's tough. I will say I don't think Paula will win because she's the host.
Why not? She's the one who's been studying the rules.
But hear me out.
Okay.
She's the host, so I think people will gang up on her. I think she's going to have a target on her back as the host of the game.
Okay.
I think it's going to be tough for her.
All right.
So I'm remembering Joe McAdam from the Purple Worm episode she did, and she was pretty fierce, pretty formidable. So I think maybe I'll go with her.
She also seems like someone who's going to slip under the radar. Like people aren't going to consider her a threat until it's too late, and then she's going to pounce and take the game.
Yeah, I'll go. I feel good about that choice.
I want to see. It's like more like horse racing. I want to see them walking into the stalls before I'm really willing to.
You want to check their teeth?
Yeah, I want to check their teeth. Look at their knees. See how their tails are doing.
Yeah, I want to watch them in warm-ups at least.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they're going to do an amazing job. It'll be very fun to watch. So, let's just talk a little bit about the creation of this thing. So this was our first completely original project. So I'm sorry, Matt is not going to join today. He is on a flight, unfortunately. He wanted to be here, but he is on a plane, and so he will not be able to join before we end. So I do apologize for that. He wanted to be here. We thought he was going to be able to, but he's a very, very busy man. So sorry about that. So we sort of started this game a little over a year ago, I think. And it was really initially just sort of an experiment to see what it would be like to go through the process of creating a game. And I think that was nice for us. It took a lot of the pressure off, where we could just sort of, you hear these stories about tech companies that do these sort of, I don't know, there are a lot of different names for them, but these sort of 80-20 rules where you spend 80% of your time on current projects, and then they set aside one day a week or 20% of your time or whatever, where you get to just follow your bliss and chase down, imaginative projects that might come into something at some point. And that I think was what Ring of Chaos was for us. This was something that we were able to just not have any expectations for and design and develop and just see where it went. So it became this thing that we would play every time the five of us were in the same room, and we would get together for our little, extended multi-day meetings. And we had such a good time with it, and I think everybody contributed so many great ideas for it that we finally sort of got the confidence up to say, all right, well, so we gave it to some close friends. Our friends at D4 were fantastic about it. They were one of the first play testers. Our friends at Band of Badgers were one of the first play test groups to do it and give us feedback. And just at every step we got enough sort of positivity about it that we felt like it was worth continuing to chase this down. So and then once the artists got involved and we started creating original art for it, one of the great strengths, I think, of our company is that we have so many great connections with talented artists in the space, designers, graphic artists, visual artists, writers, everything. So, we had a lot of great people to pull from, and really, could not be, if you go on the website, you'll see a lot of it, but there's just so much amazing art in this thing that really brought everything to life. Question came up: what is the single most challenging factor creating a board game from scratch? For us, I think, and other people can chime in on this too, but for us, I think it was playtesting, because that's not something we've had to do a lot of, with our D&D products and when we're creating sort of expanded editions of a D&D product, or a Critical Role project or a Pathfinder project. The adventure itself has been completely play tested by the licensor. So, we'll play test the little short adventures that we add in, and, we'll show things to people to make sure that they're getting what we want them to get out of it. But it's a lot less intensive than trying to play test a full game like this. And every time we go through it, there's that feeling of maybe this is the time that somebody figures out how to break the game. Somebody figures out that magical combination of cards or factions or whatever that where it all falls apart on us. But so for me, that was both the scariest thing and the hardest thing to make sure we were doing right. Anybody else have something to add about that question?
I think, to me, like, the hard part for this is when we were like 70% done and the rules were pretty much done, but getting it from 70 to 100%, because we made, as credit to Bill for really pushing through this. It's like a writing project or something where you have to be willing to sort of kill your children as to go forward. We made really big changes to the rules that got us from 70 to 100% done. And it was pretty tempting, because a lot of time and effort had been spent to get us to 70%. It's really hard to fight for a long time over a set of rules and then be able to say, yeah, but that still doesn't work. We still have to scrap this bit in order to get it to the finish line. That to me was, I think that's where my guess would be, that's where a lot of projects stall out, is that the point where you have to rip and replace large parts of it to get the whole thing over the finish line.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. There was, I can think of one major change to the structure of the game that we made at around that 70% point, and definitely felt the temptation to either just stop chasing it or settle for it being okay and not going back to the drawing board. So yeah, you could see how people would get defeated by that. people are asking what kind of game it is. There's a lot of information online about this again. And you know what? Actually, maybe this is a good time, Paul, for us to queue up the Becca Scott video if we're able to do that.
Yeah.
Becca Scott with Good Time Society, they were kind enough to put together a 7-minute video that talks you through the game. They do an amazing job. She's obviously super talented and does a great job of narrating through the whole thing, and is much more charismatic than we are. So maybe we should throw that up there, and everybody can just, if you're able to sit and watch for 7 minutes, she can tell you all about the game. You'll get to see a prototype of it. It's 90% there. Those aren't the final pieces, but they're pretty close to what you'll be getting in the game. And we can talk about what the differences will be when we get back, but it'll give you a good chance to see, to take a look at it and see what kind of game it is, because it's a little hard to describe. So,
all right, here we go. Let's see what happens.
Cool.
I'm a clerical dwarf, you see. I do light.
Before we go any further with that was video. That was queued up.
It was clearly the wrong button.
Yeah, it was the wrong. It was the.
That
wrong,
was the purple worm kill video.
Right, which we can also talk about later. But let's see. Let me. I could have sworn I had set it up. Let me just see if this is the video or if this is Matt's video.
We're still
Hi. My name is Matthew Lillard.
That's Matt's video.
That's Matt's video. We're gonna get to that.
We're still internally at the 70% part right here.
Okay, here we go. Is everyone ready?
We're setting up pit traps and...
So ready.
Okay. All right. So let's go.
We're setting up pit traps and making savage attacks. That's right, it's Ring of Chaos from Beetle and Grimm's. In this fearsome fantasy free-for-all, 3 to 6 players control their own adventuring parties, each vying for control of the, you guessed it, Ring of Chaos. Over a series of turns, players will command their party, casting spells and swinging swords. The first player to amass 11 summoning points wins the game. Setup begins with the battle map. Players decide together which of the 2 maps to play, placing it center. Each player then takes a player mat, which has a slot for an adventuring party card, a turn order reminder, a summoning ladder ranging from 0 to 11, and 4 slots for heroes of the adventuring party. You got your fighter, cleric, rogue, and wizard. Next, randomly select a first player and deal them 2 adventuring party cards. They're going to choose one to keep and pass the remaining card to the next player. That player is dealt a second adventuring party card and repeats this process, then continues around the table until all players have selected an adventuring party. Players read their party's name, special power, and announce their party's catchphrase. Players get to make this one up, and it can and should be pretty simple. For example, I've got the Den of Thieves, and our catchphrase is, we're gonna get your stuff, we're gonna get it, I'm gonna tickle those coins right out of you. Then each player takes the 4 hero cards associated with their party and arranges them face up onto the 4 class slots of their player mat. Now there's no strategic impact to this choice, just judge the rolls for yourself. The face down side features a red splatter and cannot defend label. These represent one of the 3 states the hero can be in. Full strength, which is face up, wounded, which is face down, and dead, which is off the mat. Dead heroes means a player cannot play any class cards of that class. Players also take the 2 matching standees for their adventuring party, placing one on the 0 space of the summoning ladder and another at the starting space closest to their seat. Next, place the Ring of Chaos on the Chaos altar in the center of the map. Then take the 8 Temple Guardian cards and the deck of action cards and shuffle those puppies together. Deal 4 cards to each player, which they keep in a private hand. If any player is dealt a Temple Guardian during setup, they discard it to a discard pile and take a replacement card from the top of the deck, which is set face down into a draw deck right next to that discard. Gameplay! This occurs in turns, each divided into 3 phases. Draw phase, action phase and discard phase. The player to the left of the player who selected the first adventuring party takes the first turn, after which turns continue clockwise. On a turn, the player first draws 3 cards. Players draw these one at a time, immediately resolving any Temple Guardians when drawn. Temple Guardian cards attack all parties, and each player can choose which of their heroes will take the attack. After the Temple Guardian attack has been resolved, discard it, and the drawing player draws another card to their hand to replace it. They then take up to 3 actions. Players may only take 1 action of each type, but they can be taken in any order. Actions include move, attack, and bonus. Let's look at each one. Move allows the player to either play a move action card or move up to 2 spaces on the battle map. The battle map is made up of circular spaces, which parties may occupy, and lines which connect these spaces to each other, creating adjacency. When moving on the map, if a space where a player ends their movement is occupied by another party, they can push that other party to another empty adjacent space of the active player's choice. This doesn't apply when moving through a space. Attack allows the player to either play an attack action card or draw 1 from the draw deck. Attacks come in 2 main types, melee and ranged. Melee attacks only affect parties adjacent to the active player's party on the map. Ranged hits any party not adjacent to theirs. Now, some attacks have the any designation, which can be either ranged or melee. An all attack action affects all parties except the party who played it. Generally, the attacking player is the one who chooses which hero is affected by an attack. In the case of all attacks or attacks from Temple Guardians, the defending player chooses which hero is attacked. Note that many attack cards have a counter card, which can prevent their effect. If an attack card is played against a party, that party's controller can play the counter card immediately from their hand if they have it. All heroes begin the game at full strength. If an attack against them is successful, they are flipped to their wounded side. Wounded heroes can't use counter cards to defend themselves, and if they receive another attack, they're dead and removed from the mat. When a hero dies, a player can no longer use cards exclusive to that hero's class. If all of a player's heroes are dead, that player is eliminated from the game, discarding all their cards and removing their standee from the map. The player who dealt the final killing blow receives all of the eliminated player's summoning points. One note though, a player cannot gain points beyond 10 in this way. You gotta earn that game-winning point via the ring. If the eliminated party was wearing the ring, it's dropped onto their space on the map. Bonus action. This allows the player to either play a bonus action card or pick up the Ring of Chaos if it's in their space. They can alternatively steal the Ring of Chaos from an adjacent adventuring party. When acquiring the ring, the player places it under their standee on the board and immediately gains 1 summoning point. Additionally, if a player begins their turn still with the ring, they gain 3 summoning points. Once a player has resolved their actions, they go to the 3rd phase of their turn, the discard. The player discards down to a hand limit of 5 cards. Turns continue until one of 2 endgame conditions are met. Either one player achieves 11 summoning points, or one player is the last party standing, meaning they've eliminated all other parties. That player wins the game. And that's the basics of Ring of Chaos. I'm Becca Scott, this is Good Time Society, and you have the Ring of Chaos. Give it to me! No! Come here! Come here! No, give me the ring! I want the Ring of Chaos!
And there we go. She did a great job. I got to say, to have somebody go through the rules like that in a way that's super engaging and fun is kind of amazing. Becca has a particular sort of infectious smile. I think that every time I see her, I just can't help but smile.
She may in fact be a little more charismatic than us.
She may be. Yeah. Which is why, yeah, it all works out.
You may have a future in this space.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for anybody thank you everybody who's following along. But We're at $18,000, well on our way to 25. Crazy. What's crazy about this is that we have people who are watching us on Twitch, but we also have people who are watching on YouTube. And just so that we all know, this stream is actually streaming live on the Kickstarter page. So people who are going to the Kickstarter page are actually seeing us talk about the Kickstarter page that they're at. So it's kind of like Inception.
Those poor bastards.
They don't know what they're in for. One of the things I think that was interesting about this game, especially early on as we were playtesting it, is creating a new board game. I remember there was a lot of time that we spent where the challenge was we wanted it to be different than other games, but we also wanted it to have all the things about the games we liked in it. And so, early on, there were things about the game that we liked, but were really similar to other games. And so there was a lot of that tension of, trying to keep things that we liked without having it be just like another game. And I thought that was, and the outcome of it was, I think, great. We ended up with something that feels familiar yet very different. But I just remember that tension of early on, trying to figure out how do we make this, fun and easy to play, but still different but not different for different sake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think once we sort of, go ahead, John.
No, you go.
I think once we kind of cut loose and had the structure of it and started, putting our own thoughts into it, it was unlikely that, anything that we come up with is going to land very close to somebody else, because we're kind of weird that way.
It was also, so for people who don't know, we've been working on this game for a while. And one of the things that we did was we actually play tested it at Gen Con. So we were at Gen Con, we had our booth at Gen Con. We were doing a lot of things, but we made a point of scheduling time in the playtest room, which is this amazing place where people just volunteered. They would sign up for a slot to playtest new games, and people would just show up without having any idea of what the game was they were going to play. There was a little bit of choice. I think at the beginning you got to, they said these are the 15 or 20 games that are being playtested at this slot, and they could sign up and pick one. But it was amazing. Like we would sit down at this table and we would have 4 or 5 or 6 people who we didn't know at all, had never heard of us, show up, and we just would play the game. And it was so much fun. It was great. These were all people who just loved board games and loved playing games. And it was great. We spent, hours doing it. And it was really fun. And that was as Bill was saying earlier, the challenge of playtesting this was one of the challenges, but at the same time, it was also one of the great sort of joys of doing it, was actually getting to sit down with people that we had never met before, and just playing the game for a couple of hours.
By the way, at PAX Unplugged coming up. I think November 30th, December 1st, December 2nd, something like that.
First to the third.
So we're going to be demoing the game at PAX. So come, if you're going to that con, you want to see the game live, it'll still be in prototype form, but that'll be sort of our final sort of round with volunteers. So please come and hang out with us and play a game and try your hand at it. We may jump in on games periodically. I will say myself, I have literally never won a game of this. So you want to be at my table.
So that's why you were betting against Paula, right? Because you sort of assume that whoever's the one who's kind of running the thing is bound to lose.
That's right.
I think that may just be you.
Personal experience, yeah. Maybe it's me.
One of my favorite parts of the game is at the end of your turn, you have to say your team's catchphrase. And one of the fun things at Gen Con was watching different types of people deal with that part of the game. In order to let the next person know that you're done and they can start, you have to call out your catchphrase. And as a tabletop role player, that's like second nature, right? And yeah, let me call out my. But not everybody at Gen Con was a tabletop role player. Some of them were just board game, and they were like, "Really? Like I have to do this?" We were like, "Yeah, you have to do it." And it was funny that at first they were tentative, but by the end of the game, they were screaming it out or calling it out just as loud as anybody else.
Yeah, they had that is really fun, can we share catchphrases we've used?
Here's the thing about when we played internally. Those catchphrases got blue quick. So I'm actually not comfortable sharing any of the phrases.
Yeah,
that was actually a problem at Gen Con too. It was like, well, here's the thing. Oh, I can't use that. Oh, that's a terrible example. I can't use that. Or
one of the things I love about the catchphrases and coming up with good ones is that, I mean, I remember games where I may have lost the game, but I won the catchphrase.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that ever happened.
No.
Yeah. I remember you losing the game, and I remember your catchphrases. I don't. No, but yeah, you do have games where you feel awfully proud of your line.
Yeah.
Hey, we just hit 21. Oh, that's fantastic! Look at us. This is incredible.
We're chugging along.
Thank you, everybody who's jumping in.
Yes,
really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is amazing. Super exciting.
If I could just respond to a couple of comments about D&D, I think that people who play D&D will find certain elements of this game comforting and familiar. But if you've never played D&D, you're still gonna be able to love this game. I think that it's intuitive. It's pretty easy to learn, even though there's a lot of strategy involved. So if you're not a D&D player, don't worry about it. If you are, I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit.
There was one question in the comments about what changed with the feedback. Specifically with Gen Con, it was mostly about interpretation of the cards and their powers. And it was great because these are like experienced, savvy board game players, and they would pick apart any like rule description to try to find some kind of advantage to it. And with some of them, it was, oh crap, we didn't mean for that card to be able to be used that way. We need to change it. And there were others where we went, well, we didn't mean it that way, but that's awfully clever and actually makes it more fun. So, so there were some things that they came up with that we actually added into the game because they were just genuinely great ideas of how to use a card or how to use a combination of cards in a way that was just cool. So
I think one of the fun things about the Kickstarter, the play testing was, even the fact that we had played the game countless times ourselves, and yet going in to with these play testers who had never played the game, for them to immediately come up with combinations that I had never seen or never thought of before. These great moves. There was somebody who used a card on the very first turn that I had never thought to use that way. And I think it was both a testament to the ingenuity of the playtesters, these people who play games all the time, but I think it was also a testament to the sort of the interesting and strategic flexibility of the game, right? One of the things about the game, I think that's a lot of fun, is the fact that, just by having all of these action cards that you draw and you have to play, fitting them all together in different ways and coming up with different combinations is always really exciting. And that's a little bit like D&D, like when you're making a character and for the first time you figure out how to use a spell in a way maybe that, you never thought to use before, or an ability that you realize goes really well with something else. That's also a really fun part of D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where some of the luck comes in. The luck of the draw comes in. It's like, you play a game and you're like, oh man, this card wasn't really that useful, or this power wasn't really that useful. But then you play another game and that same card or that same power plays greatly into the game, and it's super fun to see different people play test different parts of it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's exciting.
It's gonna set my dog off.
There's a wolf there.
Yeah,
It's good. It's the different maps are going to be fun too, because it's a lot of those powers are going to be, much more useful on certain maps, and I think some people's strategies are going to change a little bit on the bigger maps. That's a really fun part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm having a very hard time following a conversation when we are $200 away. Oh, sorry, we're $35.
$35 away.
And we're done. We go home.
Hey!
And there we go.
Oh, wow.
Hey. Boom.
Nice.
Amazing.
Wow. Of course, you guys realize that now this means we actually have to make the game.
Oh.
Actually,
Anybody got
the good
any
news is-
ideas?
the good news is we actually have made the game. We now just have to produce it, and hopefully
That's
we
right.
get to produce lots and lots and lots of them. But wow, that is
Amazing.
Thank you
exciting.
all so
I gotta
much.
say that's exciting. I was
34 minutes. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get that graphic up, Paul.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got to get on that. Funded
Good work there, buddy.
funded in 34 minutes.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you all so much. I'm actually going to text Matt. He's on a plane, but I want to let you know that we are.
Wow. Well, this is great. So now it's just a question of, how many of these can we make, right? How many sets can we make? And
Hey, I do want to mention we have a lot of reveals that are going to come out in the next month. We're going to have more minis to show. We're going to have some other details, some maps and things that we can show. So do keep coming back, and we'll keep you posted on trying to show you more details as we go through it. So
and I will say, guys, I'm amazed, but the vast majority of backers, I guess I'm not amazed, but the vast majority of backers have backed our Platinum Edition.
that's
It
exciting.
seems to be
Really excited about
far and
that.
away the most popular. 72% of people.
Wow.
Those minis are going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minis, yeah. And I mean,
you're going to be happy you did.
We're Beetle and Grimm's. It's kind of hard. I mean, that's it's kind of hard not to do a Beetle and Grimm's.
It's our wheelhouse for sure.
That's a great question. I don't know how many signature add-ons are left. But I know.
Shouldn't you know? Aren't you the person who should be able to know that?
I should. This is all kind of new to me. I'm still figuring it out. But I think
I promise you, we are better at making games than we are at running Kickstarters or streams. Please don't read into this.
Yeah. This is definitely I have because until the thing goes live, I haven't been able to see these advanced creator dashboards. These are crazy. So
hey, Band of Badgers in the chat.
Hey,
hey,
that's fantastic. How y'all doing? We miss you. I want to be on your show sometime.
There you go. I'm gonna have I don't know. We'll have to find out. Well, I mean, I think we'll have to find out. But no, actually, somebody just told us 456 left. There you go.
Okay.
After all that, I could have just looked in the chat. Thank you, Deadly Dracula.
That's our friends are smarter than we are. That's kind of our superpower.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to just throw out a shout out to Band of Badgers, because Band of Badgers play tested another game that we're releasing in February. That's a murder mystery game that we're very excited about. And it's play testers like Band of Badgers and other folks that are helping us play test that really allow us to create games that really work. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, we really continue to rely on this community. It's just so many amazing people in this space, and people who are so eager and willing to help each other out. And we want to make sure that we're doing our part of that as well. So always want to give back, and Band of Badgers has been one of those. Josh McGuire as well. We mentioned before, people who have really backed us long before we had any right to have anybody backing us. So thank y'all.
And to John's point, we actually, while Ring of Chaos is absolutely the first board game that we've ever made, we actually have a bunch of games that we're working on for next year. One of which, is John just was talking about, is one that we're doing with Magic the Gathering, that we're super excited for people to see, and is going to be available in February, we think.
Were we actually supposed to say that?
Yeah, no, we absolutely are. We actually got confirmation. We got confirmation yesterday.
You can tell the rest of us get slightly uncomfortable as well.
I don't
That is
mind
it.
the attack
We
while
don't
you
have
were
to talk
going
about
off.
that yet.
Yeah, no. John and I were on a call with the powers that be, and they said it's fine. I can't show this. I can't show. There are things I can't show.
Some folks are calling for a playtester application, which I think is a great.
We would love to do that.
Yeah, we were talking about that we're gonna try to set up something like that, because we really do need a functionality like that, and we have some things coming up. We have something coming up in the role-playing game space that we're going to need a lot of playtesters for. There's a lot more adventure writing, original writing in it than we normally do, and it's going to take a lot more significant playtesting than the really short bonus encounters that we normally do. So we are absolutely going to need to find out a way to set up some playtests, and we'll probably do that through social media and try to figure that out. So thank you everybody who's asking for that and offering to jump in. So just we'll figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, I think the first thing that we're going to do, you guys are going to see this. I don't know, maybe not this week, but next week we'll add a playtester application to the website. There'll just be a place you can go and sign up. And maybe there'll be an option to you can choose to playtest. Do you want to playtest a board game, an RPG, both? But we'll get that set up right away. That's we should have thought of that before.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Like you guys were saying, I mean, the feedback we got at Gen Con playtesting was both, kind of heartwarming because people liked it, but it was also so good. I mean, you guys are good. So we would love the feedback and deeply appreciate your opinions and contributions.
Yeah, for sure. All right, where are we at?
We are well past we're at 29,480 right now, which is crazy.
And the answer to that is yes.
Yes.
21 times is your
even better.
Yeah.
So this is we're super excited. We can't wait. And so as Bill said, we're going to be having updates throughout the Kickstarter. So anybody who backs will get those, because even though the game is done, we're still finishing up. There are a lot of the final production elements that are being designed and getting ready for pre-production. So as those get ready, we'll show those. I mean, the minis are, I think, one of the biggest ones that we're excited to show the rest of. We only have 3 up there now, but over the course of the next few weeks, we'll be revealing hopefully all 8 of them. And there's some art that's still going to be finished.
The Platinum Edition has 2 additional maps in addition to the 2 that are included in the Standard Edition. We're still developing those. Hopefully, before the end of the Kickstarter, we'll be able to put up at least one of them. I think the one we're working on now is very different. And thank you to Josh McGuire, who sort of pushed me to to explore something that really changes the tactics and strategies of the game. So I think it's going to be a very different game on that board. So it should be a lot of fun.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. Someone's asking the question of why did we decide to jump into board game creation at all? And I mean, we can all talk about it. I'll just say that, we did it because we love playing games, and there's a few games that we've played as a group for as long as we've been playing D&D. And we realized that, we had some fun ideas that we wanted to share. And the things that we learned from building our D&D products, the boxes especially, showed us on a practical level just how possible it is to make things that are cool. So I think it was just the realization that, hey, this is something we can do. But I think it was also, Bill, I think a big way sort of led us into this by foolishly suggesting that he could just make a game.
Yeah, I mean, and part of it, honestly, is we do these retreats where the 5 of us get together and spend a lot of time working on the company, but then we'll have an hour or two in the evening where we want to do something, and when we don't have time to play through a D&D campaign, it's really nice to have a board game to play together and spend an hour, and I think. We also get all of our families together every summer, and playing games is a big part of those visits where we get all our families together and we all play a lot of games together. And so there was something exciting about having something that was ours. And again, when we started, it was more about, let's see if we can do this. And so just very happy it worked out.
Yeah, 100%. And it's fun. I mean, it's just fun. We play a lot of games. It's fun. It's fun to play a game that we made. I think someday if Bill ever wins, he'll understand how fun it is to win a game that we've made.
It would be neat. Yeah.
But I'm going to say that I'm not going to allow that to happen.
There's a question. Will we see expansions?
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's moved from a academic question prior to the Kickstarter to a real one.
Yeah, I actually had I had a concept for an expansion that I wanted to include in the Kickstarter, and everybody told me no, I'm not allowed to actually start making expansions yet. So, but yeah, I do think it's a game that that definitely lends itself to that. So in success, we would love to do that, and I think. We can do it in a way that won't just be sort of, decoration, but will really sort of change the way the game is played and make it fresh for people. So, yeah. Yes, hopefully that will be coming in success, and we're certainly off to a very successful start.
Yeah. I mean, Cyber Paladin asks, are the characters and creatures in this game, were they inspired by our playing of D&D? And I mean, absolutely D&D and all the other sort of RPG games that we've played. The game has, heroes and classes. So there's none of the rule mechanics are specific to D&D, but certainly we were influenced by all of the RPGs that we've played all our lives. And
I mean, Beetle and Grimm are in there, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
not Vodum or Tanner, I noticed.
Yeah, I will say, how come we weren't able to include, and Garnal's not in there?
Expansion.
There you go.
You got to get through a lot of expansions before we get to Garnal. I'll tell you that. I'm actually looking for that. I should have that card here somewhere.
Vodum is like literally in that group.
There's Beetle.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and let's see. And there's Grimm. So yeah, you can be Beetle and Grimm if you want to.
Yeah, why not?
Beetle is useless, but Grimm is pretty
why did we not include Vodum? Why? I mean, there's two other heroes in that party. Why did we not include?
The question is the answer.
Yeah, we reserved it for heroes. That's why.
Hey, can we say again where folks should go in 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So things get dicey. Paula Deming's live stream of the game, you can watch them actually play the game. Again, much more charismatic people than we are.
Yep.
And they're going to play through the whole thing. Should be a lot of fun. So go to their site. There's a link on the Kickstarter page.
And well, anybody who's on Twitch, we will be sending everybody over. We'll just do a raid and we'll send everybody over directly to things. It's actually the Twitch channel is Paula Deming. So her name is Paula Deming, and as Bill said, the link is on the Kickstarter page. I'm going to put it in the chat in just a second, as soon as I find it. Once it's there, we will, and then when we get close, we'll be sending everybody over. Because I think we can do that. If you're watching us on something other than Twitch, you're going to have to go to Twitch to do it. But this is the link, Twitch, Paula Deming. And we can't wait to see what that's going to be like too. We're super excited about, how they're going to play. Paula is not only a great board game player, but she's also an RPG player. And she is actually going to be in our live show of Faster Purple Worm Kill at PAX Unplugged. So at Philly,
Yes,
December, we will be doing not just demos of Ring of Chaos, but we will be doing a live show of Faster Purple Worm Kill, our new TV show. And if people want, do we want to watch a quick 1-minute trailer of
yeah, throw that up there.
Worm?
A lot of fun.
Because as we all know, I have it queued up.
Yes, we saw that.
We're very
Well, you did have it queued up. We'll see.
I did. It's still there. It's still there. I can click on it. So we're gonna watch. This is our new TV show. It premieres a week from this coming Thursday, the 16th of November at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. It's on Amazon Freevee and Plex. So watch it. But here's the trailer.
I'm a clerical dwarf, you see. I do light filing and make copies.
We're doomed. I'm Aragon, called Atticus McMurder, who's like unbelievably cute.
I dress for comfort, all right? I'm not trying to get the cover of GQ, Goblin Quarterly.
Have any of you ever seen a purple worm?
A little baby bunny pops up.
This is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Your enemies will be our enemies. The house falls. I never got to see the bathroom. You monster.
What if I roll all ones? Maybe you'll live.
Hit him with the 1-2 crunch.
The 1-2 crunch, baby! The 1-2 crunch!
At least one of you must stay alive.
I'll take that one. Dibs on living.
Every time I
So
watch
much Doom.
it makes me just want to watch the show. It's just so good. That's a good trailer.
That's a good trailer.
Yeah, they did a nice job putting that together.
I don't. Yeah.
Also on that D&D Adventures channel, there are 2 other completely original shows on that channel. Encounter Party, which is a long-form D&D show that's fantastic, and then Heroes Feast, which is a D&D themed cooking show. Both shows are premiering next week, and will premiere episodes every week going forward on the same sort of cadence that we do. So check those out as well. All fantastic, fantastic shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's on Amazon Freevee and Plex. And Amazon Freevee, for people who don't know that, it's just inside of Amazon Prime. So if you've ever watched anything on Amazon Prime, it's just in there. If you're one of the 95 trillion people who watch Jury Duty, it's the same place. Just go watch Purple Worm right next to Jury Duty.
It has way more monsters than Jury Duty. So
yeah,
immediate win.
True.
Yeah.
And more death as well. That's a
not
spoiler for jury duty. Just spoiler, they don't all die in the end.
Oh, season 2. I'm holding out for season 2.
Yeah.
All right, we are 7 minutes away from ending this madness and rating Paula Deming. And she will do a fantastic job. I strongly encourage you all to stick around. Just a very funny group of people, and it'll give you a great demo of what the game looks like in action. The question about when it starts filming, it's in the can. We've shot all 20 episodes of Purple Worm for the first season. If that was the question, if I'm interpreting that right. But we are doing a live show in Philly, and then we're keeping our fingers crossed for season 2.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Bill. Since you took Joe McAdam, I'll put my money on Paula.
Okay. Wow. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, just I've got to have my own player.
No, I understand. It's nice of you to step up and lose to make me feel better.
I'm not going to pick until I check the teeth. So,
right.
I'll let you know how that goes.
All right, we are at.
Right, we're at 12. So we have 6 minutes before Paula's show, and we are at $35,000 that we have raised so far for Ring of Chaos.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
That is crazy, crazy, crazy. Super excited. And I think I figured out how to do the raid thing. So
okay, good.
Timing is everything, Paul.
Timing is that. So I figured it out.
I could see you thrashing around over there. I figured that was.
Well, that's what I always do. I mean, I just figure, I just start typing stuff, and eventually something's going to work, right? Yeah. But I figured it out. I think I know how it's going to work. We just got to wait a few minutes. I think we want to make sure that her channel is actually live. But assuming as soon as I see that her channel is live, we'll send everybody over. But everybody who joined, I just want to thank everyone for coming out and doing this with us. I mean, this is a big moment for us as a company, as creators. Even John. I mean, even for John, it's a big moment.
Hey, Paul, someone asked about the pin at one point. And the pin is something that if you pledge in the first 48 hours, you can get that for free. We should probably just mention something about it.
Yeah. So the pin is we're creating this pin with a company called Pinfinity. And what they do is they make augmented reality experience pins. So the pin is a physical metal pin of chaos based on the logo design of the actual Ring of Chaos. And what's going to happen is that you'll be able to wear the pin, but then you'll also be able to download the Pinfinity app, scan the pin, and there'll be a whole bunch of augmented reality experiences that you'll be able to experience in there. What those are exactly, we're actually working with Pinfinity. There are a lot of things that they already know how to do. So there are a lot of things involving, making the animation come to life, making the art come to life, music and sound effects. But we're working with them right now to see if we can come up with some stuff that they haven't done before that are sort of specific to the game. And we're not going to say what those are until we get confirmation that we can actually do them, because we don't want to promise something that we can't deliver. But there's some really, really fun ideas. And Caleb at Pinfinity has been great. He's super creative, super fun to work with. And so we're really excited about being able to offer this as an add-on just to make the gameplay that much more fun, and to be able to, rep the game when you're out and about, right? With, what's better than a cool augmented reality pin to, rep your chaotic cred.
Hey, Paul, there's a couple of questions about adding that to your order. You do have to do it as an add-on, right?
Yeah. So specifically, the way it's going to work, there's actually an FAQ about this, but the way it's going to work is in the pledge manager, anybody who's pledged in the first 48 hours, we'll automatically add it to your pledge for free in the pledge manager. So you don't have to add it as an add-on in Kickstarter. You can, but either way, at the end of the day, it's going to be set to be free.
But just to be clear, it's only with the Platinum Edition backer levels, right?
Yep.
You can buy it as an add-on for $20 if you pledge it at a different level. But it's free with the Platinum. So, yeah.
With the Platinum Edition, it'll be free, and that's going to happen automatically. So you can go ahead and add it. If you don't add it, we'll add it automatically in the pledge manager, and if you do add it, we will set the price to $0 when the Kickstarter ends.
Very cool.
So just in closing, I just do want to say how important this is to us as a company. This is a big inflection point for us to find out if we're going to have, if there's interest and support for us doing our own things that aren't attached to established game worlds. And so this is a big moment for us as a company, and sort of a big instruction of where we should go going forward. So thank you for encouraging us that this is something that y'all are interested in seeing us pursue.
Yep, for sure.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Let's raid.
We got 1 minute. We have 1 minute.
Oh yeah. We have to wait.
Oh, let's do it now. Let's push everybody. Let's go.
Well, we can't. If we raid and they haven't started yet, it's gonna be a little weird, right?
Yeah. There has to be a place to go.
Yeah. I mean, and there are. So I see people have started joining the chat. So as soon as I see Paula go live, which is going to be any second, I'm sure. She's probably frantically trying to come up with a catchphrase for her party.
And it's the most important part of the game.
That is.
Right.
It certainly is. All right, but let's see. Let's see if she is if she's live yet. She does not seem to be live. Yeah, there's someone in the chat room.
Does anybody have a puppy they can show people?
Okay, so her Nightbot just started, so she's clearly there. So we're going to go ahead and send everyone over. So anyone we're going to send you over to watch the live stream. We would love for you to stay and watch that and really see how the game is played. We're going to watch it too. Anyone who's on the other platforms, twitch.tv/Paula Deming. Thank you all so much for making this such a great success. We're super thrilled, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
We are going to wrap up.
Raid.
And so there's a raid. We're gonna send everybody over and raid now. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right.